Number 18, Switzerland. The Alpine nation of Switzerland had a GDP of $752.25 billion in 2020, making it the 18th largest economy in the world. Switzerland has a large service sector, including financial services and the high-tech manufacturing sector served by a highly skilled labor force, high-quality legal, political, and economic institutions, and solid physical infrastructure set the stage for a productive economy with one of the highest per capita GDPs in the world. 19. Turkey. Turkey is the 19th largest economy in the world with a GDP of $719 billion in 2020. Turkey has a largely open economy with large industrial and service sectors. Major industries include electronics, petrochemicals, and automotive production. Political turmoil and involvement in regional armed conflicts have led to some financial and currency market instability and uncertainty about Turkey's economic future in recent years. Number 20, Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia had a GDP of $709 billion in 2020, the 20th largest in the world. The Saudi economy is heavily based on oil and is the world's largest oil exporter. The Saudi government owns and operates much of the country's major industry through its oil company, Aramco. However, with global environmental concerns driving increasing interest in developing non-fossil fuel energy sources, the Saudis are looking to diversify their economy by encouraging more private investment in healthcare and other service industries. The Saudi government has also begun to at least partially privatize Aramco, launching an initial public offering IPO for the company in late 2019. 21. Poland. Poland is the 21st largest economy in the world with a 2020 GDP of $596 billion. Heavy industry, including iron and steel production, machinery manufacturing, shipbuilding, and coal mining, is an important part of Poland's economy. Poland's business-friendly climate and sound macroeconomic policies allowed it to be the only EU country to avoid recession in the aftermath of the 2008 financial crisis. However, inefficient legal and regulatory structures and an aging population are challenging Poland's ongoing growth in the future. 22. Sweden. Sweden, with a 2020 GDP of $541 billion, is the 22nd largest economy in the world. Sweden is a competitive economy with a high standard of living and a mix of free enterprise alongside a general social welfare state. Sweden's manufacturing economy relies heavily on foreign exports, including machinery, motor vehicles, and telecommunications. Sweden has taken in a large number of new immigrants and thus faces a short to medium term challenges with integrating them into Swedish society and its labor market. 23. Belgium. Belgium's 2020 GDP was $521 billion, making it the 23rd largest world economy. Belgium is a trade and transport hub that has a diversified economy with a mix of services, manufacturing, and high-tech industry. Because of its deep integration with the rest of the European economy, Belgium is highly sensitive to swings in the overall economic performance of its neighborhood. Belgium faces a high public debt burden relative to its GDP, which can constitute an obstacle to growth. 24. Thailand. Thailand is the 24th largest economy in the world with a $501 billion GDP in 2020. The Thai economy enjoys relatively high quality infrastructure in addition to pro-free enterprise and pro-investment policies. Thailand is highly dependent on exports, which account for about two-thirds of its GDP. Its main exports include electronics, agricultural products, motor vehicles and parts, and food products. Thailand has a substantial international tourism industry. Its agricultural sector makes up approximately 10% of its economy, but employs about 30% of its workers. 25. Austria. Last but certainly not least in Austria, whose 2020 GDP was $521 billion, making it the 25th largest world economy. Austria has a well-developed market economy with a skilled labor force and high standard of living, featuring a large service sector, a solid industrial sector, and a small though highly developed agricultural sector. It possesses close ties to other EU economies, as well as the United States, which is its third largest trade partner. The country faces several external risks, such as its exposure to the Russian banking sector and deep energy relationship with Russia. Throughout this list and article, the term GDP refers to nominal GDP in current US dollars unless otherwise specified. Top 10 countries by nominal GDP at current US dollar exchange rates. Number 1, United States. Nominal GDP in trillions, $20.89. Adjusted GDP in trillions, $20.89. Annual growth minus 3.6%. GDP per capita in thousands, $63,413. Number 2, China. Nominal GDP in trillions, $14.72. Adjusted GDP in trillions, $24.27. Annual growth in percentage, 2.3%. GDP per capita in thousand, $10,434. Number 3, Japan. Nominal GDP in trillions and dollars, 5.05. Adjusted GDP in trillions and dollars, 5.25. Annual growth minus 4.6%. GDP per capita, $40,193. Number 4, Germany. $3.84 trillion nominal GDP, $4.52 trillion in adjusted GDP, minus 4.6% annual growth, and GDP per capita $46,208. Number 5, United Kingdom. $2.76 trillion in nominal GDP, $3.08 trillion in adjusted GDP, minus 9.7% in annual growth, $41,124 GDP per capita. India, number 6, $2.66 trillion in nominal GDP, 8.97 adjusted GDP in trillion dollars. Annual growth minus 7.3%. GDP per capita $1,927. France, nominal GDP in trillions, 2.63 trillions. France is number 7. Adjusted GDP in trillions is 3.15. Annual growth minus 7.9%. GDP per capita $39,030. Number 8, Italy. Nominal GDP in trillions is $1.89 trillion. Adjusted GDP $2.49 trillion. Annual growth minus 8.9%. GDP per capita $31,714. Number 9, Canada. $1.64 trillion in nominal GDP, $1.83 trillion in adjusted GDP, and minus 5.3% annual growth, and $43,258 in GDP per capita. Number 9, South Korea. $1.64 trillion in nominal GDP, $2.24 trillion in adjusted GDP, minus 0.9% in annual growth percentage, and GDP per capita is $34,631. The adjusted GDP in trillions is referred to the PPP adjusted GDP.